Welcome back, dear viewers, to the channel where we dissect the most intricate developments surrounding the world's most closely watched figures. Today, we turn our focus to a story of lasting infamy, a saga of downfall, disgrace, and the heavy cost of royal privilege, centered on the former Duke of York, Prince Andrew. Once enveloped in the comfort of royal prestige, the younger brother of King Charles III now finds himself navigating an existence defined by scrutiny and isolation. His world, once gilded and secure, has been reshaped beyond recognition by an unrelenting tide of public judgment. The pressure intensified dramatically following the release of a shocking memoir by his accuser, a book that has reignited the scandal and exposed new, unsettling details. With its publication, the Duke's past has once again been dragged under an unforgiving spotlight, ensuring that public opinion offers him no refuge, no forgiveness, and certainly no escape. Despite his royal lineage, Andrew now seems to cling to the faint hope of redemption, a miraculous shift in the narrative that could somehow loosen the iron grip of disgrace that binds him. Yet, each passing week brings fresh setbacks, further eroding what remains of his reputation and former stature. Perhaps the most striking sign of his decline comes not from palace corridors, but from an ordinary street in Berkshire. There, the fallout from his scandal has taken on a startlingly personal dimension. Residents of a quiet Maidenhead neighborhood, a street that bears his name, have grown increasingly distressed by the association. They report feeling a deep sense of embarrassment when forced to reveal their address, knowing it's forever linked to the disgraced royal and his ties to the late Jeffrey Epstein. Now, these residents are fighting back. They've launched an official campaign to rename the street, determined to sever all symbolic ties to the former Duke. This is not merely about convenience, it's about reclaiming dignity. Their unease speaks volumes about the depth of public anger and the far-reaching consequences of Andrew's actions, which now extend far beyond the palace and into everyday life. This move follows a series of symbolic yet deeply meaningful acts of removal that have stripped away the remnants of his former honor. Among them, the taking down of his personal royal banner from St. George's Chapel, inside Windsor Castle, a sacred emblem once representing his place in the Order of the Garter, one of the monarchy's oldest and most prestigious chivalric orders. The removal of that flag, once proudly displayed among Britain's most distinguished knights, serves as a hauntingly visual marker of his public erasure. The turning point came on the 17th of October, when Prince Andrew formally surrendered his remaining royal titles and privileges amid the growing outcry over his association with Epstein. But rather than calming the storm, this act only intensified public demand for further accountability. Proof that, even in the realm of royalty, disgrace leaves a permanent mark. It is now painfully evident that Prince Andrew's once formidable influence, his so-called royal card, and the powerful network that once shielded him, has been rendered entirely meaningless. The tide of public outrage has not faded. In fact, it continues to swell, intensifying the calls for deeper and more permanent consequences. The demands have shifted from symbolic gestures to existential ones, targeting the very foundations of his identity. Increasingly, voices across media and within the establishment are insisting that all remaining royal titles be permanently stripped, reducing him to a mere private citizen, Andrew Mountbatten. Windsor, but it doesn't stop there. The future of his home, the Grand Royal Lodge nestled within the Windsor estate, now hangs by a thread. Once a symbol of comfort and continuity, it may soon become another casualty of his downfall. To be forced from Royal Lodge would mark the ultimate severing of his connection to the royal world, a loss not just of residence, but of legacy itself. Yet, the tragedy of this scandal reaches far beyond the Duke alone. Its ripple effects have engulfed his entire family, placing the York household under unbearable emotional strain. Once seen as a close-knit unit, united through years of adversity, they now find themselves fractured by scandal and isolation. This painful division was laid bare in a telling episode that unfolded just days after the Duke relinquished his royal privileges. On the 20th of October, an emergency family meeting was called at Royal Lodge, a desperate attempt to confront the aftermath and devise a survival strategy amid the escalating crisis. In attendance were Prince Andrew, his former wife Sarah, Duchess of York, and their elder daughter, Princess Beatrice. Noticeably missing, however, was Princess Eugenie, the Duke's younger daughter and longtime confidante. Her absence spoke volumes. Insiders described it as a silent but powerful statement, a sign that even the closest bonds are beginning to fray under the weight of disgrace. A source speaking to the Mail captured the somber mood of that meeting with chilling understatement, saying simply, "It wasn't a happy occasion." Behind those words lies a portrait of a family in crisis, their unity broken, their emotions raw. Witnesses described Princess Beatrice emerging from the meeting visibly distressed, her expression etched with exhaustion and sorrow. It was a stark, wordless confirmation of the toll this ordeal has taken, not just on public reputation, but on private hearts. The destruction left in the wake of this scandal is not only financial or institutional, it is deeply human. For those bound to the Duke by blood and history, the pain is personal, relentless, and impossible to escape. Prince Andrew's story has now become a defining example of how public opinion once turned, transforms into an unstoppable force, stripping away privilege, isolating power, and leaving behind only the echo of what once was. The chain of events, from the explosive allegations resurfacing in a new memoir, to the growing unease among residents of a quiet Maidenhead street, and the symbolic removal of his garter banner from the sacred halls of Windsor, collectively paints a devastating portrait of relentless consequence. Prince Andrew's royal heritage, once a shield of untouchable privilege, now offers no protection against the tidal wave of public condemnation. The calls to strip him of every remaining privilege, including his prized residence at Royal Lodge, grow louder by the day. The York family, once bound by unity and resilience, now appears stretched to its limit. The absence of Princess Eugenie from the crucial 20th of October meeting was a telling moment, a silent signal of deep emotional fracture. Meanwhile, the distress written on Princess Beatrice's face as she left the Royal Lodge meeting spoke volumes, a visible testament to the immense strain the family is under. This crisis shows no signs of abating. The road ahead for the former Duke of York looks bleaker than ever before. He stands increasingly isolated, seemingly cut off from the very institution he once represented, his name now synonymous, not with duty or service, but with scandal and disgrace. This unfolding tragedy forces a larger reflection. What is the true cost of privilege when it collides with moral failure? The repercussions are far-reaching, affecting not only the individual at the center, but also his family, his legacy, and even the geography tied to his name. Can Prince Andrew ever truly emerge from the shadows of this controversy? Or are we witnessing the slow, irreversible dismantling of a royal life, piece by piece, title by title, until nothing remains? The public appears far from satisfied. The momentum behind calls for accountability continues to surge, with growing pressure to remove every last remnant of his royal status, including his final sanctuary at Royal Lodge. But now, we turn the question over to you, our viewers. What are your thoughts on this latest chapter in Prince Andrew's ongoing downfall? Do you believe the Maidenhead residents are justified in wanting to change their street's name? And what do you make of the deepening fractures within the York family? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. Your insights shape our discussions and help us understand the public's pulse on these unfolding royal sagas. If you found this analysis informative, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe for more in-depth coverage of royal and celebrity affairs, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Thank you, as always, for watching and engaging with us. Your support drives everything we do, and we'll see you in the next royal analysis.